Well, faithful Christians are marking the beginning of Lent today, giving back to others. Volunteers with the John Carroll Society and Catholic Charities here in Washington are preparing dinner for dozens of homeless men and women. We're giving Wyatt Spencer double duty tonight. He's joining us from outside Catholic Charities in downtown D.C. What's going on out there today, Wyatt?
Well, Brian, when you talk about Lent, a lot of people think about prayer and penance, but for a lot of Catholics, it's also about charity. So we're just outside of Catholic Charities here on 9th Street in downtown D.C. We're, as you mentioned, they've been serving and now preparing meals for homeless men and women here in the D.C. area. Organizations like Catholic Charities D.C. Organize weekly dinners like this to serve hundreds, literally about 200 usually come out week per week. And as you mentioned, members of the John Carroll Society are out here actually volunteering their time this week. So like I said, it is very busy right now, and we're lucky enough to be joined actually by the president of Catholic Charities here in D.C., Monsignor John Ensler. And Monsignor, tell me a little bit about y'all's weekly dinners and just give me an overview of everything that's going on here.
This began about a year and a half ago, now maybe about a year and a quarter ago. We began in a cold day like today. People say, what about people who don't have enough to eat? So these people, most of these people are from our shelters, meaning basically they stay in our shelters overnight, but frankly, the government doesn't give us enough money to take care of the kind of meal they deserve. It's $1.80 a night per man or per woman. So we can't give what we want to give at the shelters. So once a week, about 200 men and women come to this line, chance to get some really good food prepared by our volunteers, some by our own staff. It's a great chance. They love it because it's a chance to really enjoy a good meal. They come back most for seconds and thirds they can because enough food, until it's all gone, they come back for extras.
And obviously the food is very important, Father John, but tell me a little bit about the spiritual part of this, because you guys obviously prepare quite a bit of food, but you know, there's a little bit more to it than just that.
Yeah, you know, for instance, tonight, pretty special tonight, Ash Wednesday, I came out and did a prayer, and I said, anybody like to have basically have the ashes for the forehead? And then you probably saw a number of people walked up to me, hoping to have their foreheads blessed with ashes, which is pretty neat. These are mostly, I think, non-Catholics, but they're coming because they want to respect our faith, but also to receive the gift of what our faith can bring them. So it's pretty special. And we come out because we feel this is our way of being in solidarity with those who are poor. It's a chance for us to say, how can we help? How can we assist you? How can we make sure that you know you're loved? It's not just about this big office here. It's about out front making sure people are served. We do that every single Wednesday all throughout the year.
Very good, Father John. Thank you so much for your time. Again, as we're taking a look here, volunteers from the John Carroll Society has been out here as well. Luckily, I'm joined by one of the volunteers here, Sam Dulick. Sam, just tell me a little bit about why you chose to come out here and volunteer.
I actually live just a couple blocks down that way, so these folks are my neighbors, so I figured it was a good way to experience some fellowship here in the community.
So walk me through this. What are you doing here? You're serving coffee? What do we got here?
A little coffee and hot chocolate, and sometimes for the risk takers, a little half and half, but people are really enjoying it.
And how long have you volunteered here before?
Yeah, I volunteered a little bit before. I've worked with a couple of volunteer events for the Archdiocese, and it's really a fun thing to do after work, and great turnout.
Absolutely. Okay, Sam, thanks so much. We really appreciate it. So again, you can see all the activity that's been going on here, Brian. A very busy afternoon here just outside of Catholic Charities D.C., here in D.C.
Wyatt, if someone wants to volunteer, they want to join in this effort, what would they need to do?
Well, the good news, Brian, is that there's a lot of ways to volunteer, and a lot of that information actually is available online. We're seeing right now, of course, Catholic Charities serving food, but, you know, as we've been mentioning, it's not just food here. There's a lot of different ways that Catholic Charities here in D.C., and of course, Catholic Charities in locations across the U.S. serve. We talk about prison ministries and a whole lot else. So luckily, you can either call, local charities in your area, or, of course, like I said, a lot of information is available online, including signups for individuals and groups. Brian?
All right, on this Ash Wednesday, Wyatt Spencer joining us along with our Director of Photography, Paul Fifield. Great job, crew out there.